Welcome back. In this video, we look at Python's built-in string class. Strings can be enclosed in single or double quotes, and string literals inside triple quotes can span multiple lines. Python doesn't have a character class, so a single character is just a string of length 1. In this code chunk, we have a simple string that says hello, and we're going to enumerate over that, printing the index and the character. As shown in an earlier video, we can index individual characters in a string with the square bracket notation. We can also use negative indexing, which starts from the end of the string. So the last character is -1, that's the O, and then the next to the last is -2, that's an L. We can slice a string. The slice will go from start to right before stop. We can omit the first or last index of a slice. This will select from the first character and up to but not including the character with index 4. This will select from character with index 19 through the rest of the string. If you omit both stop and start, you get a copy of the string. The question is this a new copy, or are both string and string copy pointing to the same location? We see here that they are pointing to the same location. However, if you change one, we see that now they're pointing to different locations. The string class has a few operators with special meaning. We've seen concatenate before. The asterisk means repetition, so this will repeat A 3 times. We also have the in operator, which returns a Boolean if A is in string 3. There are also dozens of built-in string methods. The notebook in the GitHub has a link to documentation. Next, I'll share a few of these that I've found particularly useful. Here we have a string of mixed case, and we're going to print it out first in lowercase and then in uppercase. Notice that these methods apply to a string, so you have the string name and then dot and then the method. The isAlpha, isDigit, and isSpace message return Boolean values. Starts with and ends with also return Booleans. The strip method removes white space from the beginning and end of a string. We see here that the length is 5 because the spaces have been removed. The split method splits a string into a list of strings, by default on white space, but we could split on other delimiters specified here. So long string is a simple string, and tokens will be a list of strings, which we'll print out one by one. Join does the opposite of split. It takes a list of strings and combines them together into one longer string. Here we're combining them with nothing, which will just smush them together. Here we're combining them with a space in between, and here with an asterisk in between. The find method finds a substring within a string and returns the index, or -1 if it was not found. Then we can use that index to print from there through the end of the string. The count method counts the number of occurrences of a substring within a string. Practice writing the following 4 functions. Given a string, return the first and last characters joined into a new string. If the string is less than 2 characters, return the string. The second function, given a string, returns the number of vowels. The third function, given a string, returns a string containing all the vowels in order. The fourth function, given a string, will return a string containing A, E, I, O, U if all vowels found, AI if only vowels A and I were found, etc. Hit pause and practice string manipulation in those functions. Let's look at the first function, which was supposed to return the first and last characters in a string concatenated together, unless the string has less than 2 characters, in which case it just returns the string. So we have an input string, and we first check if the length is less than 2, in which case we just return it. Otherwise, we concatenate the first and the last characters. And let's test that with string hello, and we see it concatenated the H and the O. The second function should return the number of vowels in the string. So we have an accumulator variable count, and then I'm going to iterate over the vowels A, E, I, O, and U, and use the count function to count the vowels. And we see that 2 vowels are in hello. Function 3 returns a string containing the vowels of the input string in the order they appear in the input string. So I start with an empty string that I'm going to return. Then we iterate over every character in the string. If that character is a vowel, we concatenate it to the return string. And for our test string hello, the vowels in order are E and O. Finally, function 4 is going to return a string containing the vowels of the string in alphabetical order. So again, I start with an empty string. I'm going to iterate over the vowels this time instead of the characters in the string. And if that vowel is in the string, we concatenate it to our return string. So I tested it on this string, I like apples, which we see does have an A, an E, and an I. If writing these functions was a little bit tricky and frustrating, rest assured that all of this becomes easier with more practice, which is why I encourage you to practice a lot of coding. Until next time, happy coding!